Shalom, shalom. Giving honor and praise to Yah, the creator and the maker of heaven and earth. This is your brother, Kashub Danite, a.k.a. Yeshaya Yisrael. Now, those who may know that I am what some may call an Old Testament-based brother, or what some unfortunately call non-messianic. The term non-messianic is a term that should never really be used from any Israelites to Israelites. Also, the stance of the true Old Testament Israelites is not to bash the New Testament. It's to praise the Old Testament as far as that's concerned. Being able to validate why you say what you say. Being able to go in the book of Exodus chapter 1 to chapter 13 and then go to the Lahum Papyrus, the Brooklyn Papyrus, the Ipera Papyrus, and then be able to sit there and show why we say that the biblical account of the Exodus and the enslavement prior to that of the children of Israel in the land of Egypt is an actual historical event. That's an Old Testament based brother. Being able to go into the book of Joshua and being able to sit there and show from the Amarna records about how the Kabiru were attacking with Abdul Heba. That is an Old Testament brother. Being able to go into the book of Isaiah, the 19th chapter, and show when it says that 5 cities in Egypt will speak the language of Canaan and be able to explain Takpankes and Patros and Migdal and those other cities that you read of in the book of Jeremiah, and then go into the book, other references about the Passover papyrus to show what Isaiah 19 is talking about. That's an Old Testament based brother. Being an Old Testament based brother means that you're able to explain your position as such. But when you are saying that you are Old Testament or Torah based, and you're using references that come from people who are atheists, you're not Old Testament based. You just a person who bashed the New Testament. And then the credibility at that time doesn't look too hot. And there are those who have done that. Comes from a lack of studying. You understand? If you are saying that you are an Old Testament brother, then be that. Because in the Old Testament, and we're going to read a little bit of it, and I have what many Old Testament brothers have, the Holy Scriptures. This being the Tanakh, the Tal, the Nun, and the Kaf, Thofit. See, some of us do speak Hebrew. The word Tanakh, Torah, Nebe'im, and Ketubim. The law, the prophets, and the writings. We're going to go to Exodus 11, verse 7, so we can gain an understanding concerning this kind of matter. All right? And it says as follows. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog wet his tongue against man or beast, that you may know that the Most High doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. So that's very important to let it be noted and understood. The Most High put a difference between the nations and Israel. You understand? That's very important for it to be noted and understood. And that's in the Old Testament, as it's called. You know? You go to Numbers chapter 23. Let's go to verse 9. This is speaking about Balak and Bilam and the situation that happened when they wanted to curse the house of Israel. Check out what Balaam said about Israel. From the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, it is a people that shall dwell alone and shall not be reckoned among the nations. So how you going to say you an Old Testament brother and we quoting out the first 5 books, which is the Torah, but you want to associate Israelites with this movement and that movement and the other movement? No, Israel is supposed to be a people alone, not to be associated. Oh, we're Pan-Africanists. Oh, and we're this and we're that. That's not what the Old Testament says, brothers and sisters. So if you're saying that you're an Old Testament, quote unquote, non-Messianic Hebrew Israelite, know what this book says right here. You understand? And know and understand what it's talking about. And then on top of that, this book right here. This is the Stone Edition Tanakh. There is no New Testament in either book that I showed. This has the Hebrew on one side, and then this here has the English on the other side. And for those who are very equipped in the Hebrew, you know good and well that every translation is not accurate. Now, the truth too is that a lot of Israelites came into the understanding of being Israel via the Bible, or via what you might consider messianic camps, be it ISUPK, be it IUIC, be it even GMS, be it IOG, be it the Israelites who are with the guy who called himself Yahweh ben Yahweh, or who I will more so call Hewlin Mitchell. Israelites is large, man. It ain't about just you and your camp. Any camp saying that they are the home of the truth, you may want to qualify your statement to say that is where you got your home and your truth. And can't nobody knock you for that. Can't nobody disrespect you for that. Because that's the path that the Most High apparently led you in, to be able to understand and have an understanding of who he is and who we are. The Most High in Ezekiel chapter 20, also in the Old Testament, it tells you emphatically in there that Yah will bring Israel through the wilderness and will purge Israel of their idols. So, therefore, anything that is not of the Most High will be purged away. So you have Israelites debating whether or not the 6-point star, which some say is the shield of David, the Magen Dawid, some call it the hexagram, is that truly a symbol of Israel? We will find out. Who the Mashiach is and who will be the ones who come, we will find out. That is an argument that is quite silly, because whoever will be coming and sent by the Most High must always, in that particular case, be respected. The mission of that person is to gather the Israelites together and let them become one. The argument that Old Testament Israelites bring concerning the whole issue between the Old and the New Testament, no offense intended, is the fact of the position that many hold, who they refer to in some schools as Yahushua, Yahshua, Yahawashai, to the Most High, as if he's one with the Most High. He was with the Most High in creation. That is the argument. That when you go into Isaiah chapter 44, the Most High said he created the heavens alone and the earth by himself. So there was no second to compare to him or to consort with Yah. That's the argument that Old Testament Israelites bring. Not, I've been in this way longer than you. That's not an Old Testament argument. Because then a brother who is what you would consider messianic, or he can say, or she can say, is, well, I've been in this for longer than you. And so now the Most High, not trying to sound like a prophet, you know what I'm saying, could be looking like, yo, y'all all in captivity. What are y'all doing? And this is what the Old Testament says Israel is supposed to do. Let's go to Leviticus 26, verse 40, if you will. We are in Leviticus chapter 26, verse 40. And we read, "And they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers, in their treachery which they committed against me, and also that they have walked contrary unto me. I also will walk contrary unto them, and will bring them into the land of their enemies. If then perchance their uncircumcised heart be humbled, and they then be paid the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob and my covenant with Isaac. Also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land." So we have a land in the land of the east, brothers and sisters. So to be bickering, going back and forth in the land of our captivity, my school's the home of the truth on one end, and on the other end, I've been in this way of life longer than you. That sounds silly. Because the King James Version of the Bible and the Masoretic text both have what I just read. It says, I will walk contrary also unto them, and will bring them to the land of their enemies. If then perchance their uncircumcised heart be humbled. That means that you have a lot of brothers and sisters whose heart ain't humbled. That's what the Most High God is looking at. Where is the anwa? Where is the humility? That is what the Most High, the Creator, is looking for. Now, I'm not going to sit there and profess that I perfected it and that I'm the example to look up to and in all aspects. No, I'm not saying that. We are to look to the Most High, not to man. You understand? Cursed is the man who trusts in man and makes flesh his strength, and whose heart departs from the Most High. If you got a controversy with a brother, you deal with that as brethren. No Israelite needs to sit there and talk to people who do not care about the house of Israel. Old 39 books, 27 new books, and try to go back and forth about that particular point. Because that dude, homie, got idols all up in his house. That dude's serving the Neferu, man. He's serving the gods of Egypt. The same one that the Most High said in Exodus that he said he will declare judgments against the gods of Egypt. All of those plagues that you read of in Exodus, each of them was an attack on a god or gods of Egypt. The death of the firstborn, that was an attack upon who they call Heru. The Nile turning to blood, that was an attack on the Egyptian god Hapi. The frogs was an attack on the Egyptian god Heket. The sun being blacked out, that was an attack upon the god Amun-Re. The Most High made war against the gods of Egypt. So if Israel, which is not new for Israel to have controversy with Israel, that ain't new. Among non-Messianics, you have them in there between each other, and among Messianics, you have it between there. But you don't go to a person who don't serve the Most High King of Israel, the God of Moses, the God of David, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Elijah, the one that the prophet Elisha cried out to. Aye Elohe Eliyahu. Where is the God of Elijah? And it said that the rivers parted again. That dude don't believe in the God that you are professing from the Tanakh. He got the Neferu, man. He got the gods with the P-E-I-P-E-N-I-S on his walls, man. He may not have it on his wall, but he serves the gods of the people that have the penises on their wall, man. Exodus says that when you go to minister, you're not to go up by steps, so therefore your nakedness won't be seen. Look at the Ashra Kwesi, which is his man's man, videos, and you will see all kinds of phallic symbols, vagina symbols. You're not supposed to have that being seen in the house of Israel, man. That's supposed to be covered up. So, with that being said, if you an Old Testament brother, be an Old Testament brother. And if you got something to enlighten me on, be you Messianic or non-Messianic, so be it. But you don't run to those who don't care about you, your teachers, your organization, to sit there and go and talk to them, man. All right? Shalom.